Hey, good morning, movers and shakers.
Good morning.
Thank you. So a couple weeks ago, I go on vacation, and I'm in these different hotels, and I think they train the staff people at the hotels to speak to you, to say hi, to acknowledge you, because you're in the hallway, and all of a sudden somebody says, good morning. And, at first it catches you off guard. You're not used to people talking to you, but before you know it, I'm walking through the halls, and I'm saying good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm talking to the cleaning people, anybody who might pass me by. And when you go to these smaller towns, like in Georgia or South Carolina, it is the culture that if you're close to, if you're near a person, they will say hi, they will start to talk to you, and you'll have a short conversation. But then when I get back to Tampa, my first day back at the gym, I'm ready to say hi to the person who's about to walk by me, and I quickly find that they're not interested in saying hi. They're walking straight by me like I don't even exist. And I think that we're actually trained, the larger the city, I think that we are trained not to speak to people who are near us. And frankly, for some of us, it's actually easier not to, because some of us are introverted, or maybe we're busy, or we got a lot going on in our own mind, and we don't feel like taking the risk of meeting a stranger. We don't know how it might go. Now, some of us, like Lee Pearson and Steve Barker, for example, who will talk to anybody who is within 12 feet of them, it comes very natural. Now, I could see Steve Barker in the elevator like, how y'all like this elevator ride? Pretty nice, isn't it? You know? Is that? I know. I thought I'm channeling my inner Steve this morning. But for many of us, it's just not comfortable. But I remember I have a friend, an older man who does not have a college degree. And he has said to me before, he says, I'm not that smart. But actually, he's given me some of the best advice that I've ever received in my life. And one time when I was moving back into my condo, he said, make sure that you become friends with your neighbors. He said, you never know when you might need some help. And when you're at the grocery store, introduce yourself to the people who work there and introduce yourself to the manager. And I thought, man, this is really good advice. But still, I did not introduce myself to the manager. It's just easier not to. And so I was talking to all this over lunch last week. I have a friend who's self-employed. And we were talking about how, you're self-employed, this is good for business. And years ago when I was new in business and when I desperately needed a client, I would try to talk to anybody that came within 12 feet of me. But now I'm more established, I'm more selective with who I take on as a client, and I got out of the habit. But my friend was saying, start by just giving somebody a compliment. Just start giving people compliments and seeing what happens. And I thought, I get compliments because I dress up and I do things a little differently than a lot of people. And I thought, usually I just say thank you when somebody gives me a compliment, but maybe I could do some things to take the conversation a little bit further. And I was amazed because on the way back from that lunch back to the office, I was able to have two quick conversations, one at the post office and one in the elevator. And I was surprised at how easy the conversations went, how receptive the people were to talking. And so, what if we did that? What if we all made that effort to start coming out of our shells? And yes, for some of us, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but what if we started talking to more people who are around us? Might it help our businesses? Could it help us find referrals for our referral partners? Maybe it would help us find new people who would benefit from being invited to this room. And maybe, just maybe, we would make a new friend. And we never know how they might be able to help us or how we might be able to help them in the future. This has been your educational moment. Brian Wade, Tampa Financial Group.